Hey, what's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be talking about why I decided to take a $100,000 short position on Palantir. So all that and more, coming right up. Full disclaimer, I am not a really big short trader. I'm usually more biased towards the long side, but adding tools to my overall tool belt, I want to get better at shorting so I can potentially increase my profits. So I am going to eventually add all the way up to at least $100,000 short position on Palantir. I'm just shy of around $50,000. I was at over 100,000 just a few days ago, but I decided to cover it as it started to gap up. But now that it's gapping down, it does not look pretty for Palantir for the short term. Again, this is only going to be maybe a week or two short position, and I'm going to reverse it and eventually go long on the stock because I do believe in the stock in the long term, but it's important to understand just a few types of stocks. I only trade generally 1 to 5 stocks total because I want to fully understand common support and resistance lines and be able to trade it as efficiently as possible. So let's dive right into Palantir. As you can see, I had about 8,000 shares at one moment. That was the most I've ever had of Palantir. Again, that's just under $250,000. Now, let me get rid of all of my drawings. 1 second now, I gotta go settings, show trades, okay. Now it's a little bit better. So the reason I decided to short Palantir, those are two reasons mainly. Let's go on the 1 year chart. So the 1 year chart, it failed to break above and hold a common support line, which this is the 9 EMA line on the 1 year chart. Now, as you can see, it barely gapped up, and now it failed to break it, failed to hold it, and now it has a big gap down from $21, $22 all the way down to below $20. That's at least $2 a share, 10% profit. Again, we always talk risk to reward. Now, shorting is a little bit riskier than going long because there's unlimited downside and only limited upside. Now, we have maybe a 7 to 10% gain. And again, if I have 100,000 invested or shorted against, that'll be around $7,000 to $10,000 gain. Now, I am going to risk about $1 a share, and I only have 2,000 shares right now. As I continue to sell off, I'm going to add more to my overall position, and I will look to cover profits if it breaks above and holds this 9 EMA line. And so about a 3% risk to almost a 10% reward. Now, when it comes to trading, you always want to have proper ratios. When it comes to setups like these, I prefer a minimum 3 to 1 ratio. That means a 3 reward to a 1 risk. Meaning if I'm risking 3%, I want to at least get a 9 to 10% reward on the trade. So it's about a 7 to 10% reward, about 3% risk, which about equates to just over 2 to 1, maybe 3 to 1 ratio on my risk reward. Now, again, the 9 EMA is selling off on the 180-day chart. The MACD lines is crossing over, meaning now that the blue line is crossing over the tan line, it is going to be some sort of a bearish movement. As you can see, it already sold off pretty aggressively, consolidated, and is continuing to sell off as we go into market open in about 15 minutes. Now, the last thing, I want to make it short and sweet and to the point on why I decided to short Palantir and open another position today. Look at this. The overall NASDAQ hit all-time highs this morning. Now, that's usually a bullish signal, but it broke over 15,000 per share. As you can see, it is double topping and is already starting to sell off. It's very overbought and it's bound for a pullback. It had a fairly nice pullback last week, but I still think it has a lot more to sell off before it starts its next bull run. Now, we've had a pretty good run in the last 2 months, and I think it's going to come to an end in the next few weeks as it double tops at all-time highs. As you can see, it failed to break it this time, broke above it, now it's starting to sell off. The NASDAQ is a great indicator for trading certain stocks. That's the overall market. If the overall market looks like it's bound to reverse, then normally certain stocks tend to follow. So that is kind of why I'm deciding to short Palantir. Again, I'm shorting it for around the $21, $20, maybe even break below $20 support line. I will cover some of it as it gets down to the $20 area, but I'm also looking to cut my losses if it starts to rip up to around $22.50 range, risking $0.50 a share. If I have 4,000 shares, around a $2,000 loss. If it goes to $20, that's $2 a share gain on 4,000 shares. That's an $8,000 gain. So now you guys see why I decided to short $100,000 worth of Palantir. Now I don't short normally. Again, full disclaimer, I like to go towards the bullish side. So as it breaks below 20, I'll be looking for a good entry point and a long-term swing position on the break up to $30 a share. Again, I love the stock as a long-term, but I think for the short-term right now, my money is best used shorting a stock and betting against it. So hopefully you guys learned why I decided to short Palantir. If you guys liked the video and want to see more of these, don't forget to like and subscribe. But other than that, guys, I'll see you in the very next video.